Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the West. More specifically, we are in Billings, Montana, and we had some big plans for today. We had some big plans. Did this huge road trip out across the western United States, drove all the way out to California for the California State Fair, hit the North Dakota State Fair a few days ago. The whole point of this trip was to cross a few of these state fairs off my list. It has been my goal to visit every state fair, and this, the goal was to knock quite a few out. Three fairs, and I had to very carefully plan this out. Very carefully, I had to map this out, that I was able to hit the right fairs on the right day. Because of this, I had to actually drive into North Dakota to the North Dakota State Fair, then turn right back around and drive back into Montana for the Montana State Fair. And today was going to be the day that we were going to enjoy the Montana State Fair. And as you look behind me, it's a little quiet. It's a little quiet here at the fairground. Parking lot is empty, all except for Rosebud over there. And the gates here, no one here at the ticket booth. No one here to sell tickets to the Montana Fair. You can see there's no midway, there's no food, there's no bustling crowds. Quiet, empty day here at the fairgrounds. There's the Montana Pavilion. It's empty, it's locked up. All the great exhibits in there are not in there, actually. And the door is locked. You see the Expo Center is closed. A couple guys working on the roof over there. The First Interstate Arena there. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. You can literally hear crickets here at the fairground. Actually, those may be locusts, but I can hear them. And what I can't hear is any people enjoying themselves, any screams of joy on the carnival rides. We have nothing. Nothing is happening here at the fairgrounds. See over here, I have a statue there showing some young kids working on raising a cow to show off at the fair. Yeah, there's no fair to be seen. This is what you call unfair. Concession stand locked up. No food to be seen, not a fried Twinkie in sight. See a little pavilion there by the water where bands would be playing, entertaining all who've come to the fair. Nice little domed sitting area where you take your giant turkey leg or take your State Fair cheeseburger to devour. Oh, look at this. They even have a tumbler over here for drawing names. See this big empty area here. I imagine this is where they would have the midway, where the rides would be set up. I can just see the zipper going through the air. I can see the big towering Ferris wheel. I can see the scrambler, the tilt-a-whirl. But today, nothing. No screams, no joy, just asphalt. These sad little ducks here wishing that they could eat a French fry or a piece of funnel cake. You can even see there on the trash can. The Ferris wheel, the roller coaster there. But currently no Ferris wheels and no roller coasters occupying this area. So you may be asking yourself at this point, Jacob, Carpetbagger, are you really this stupid? Did you not double check when the state fair was? Did you not double check the dates before you drove all the way to North Dakota, then all the way back to Montana? Well, let's say it's complicated. Yes, I think I may be stupid, but here's what led to this this unfortunate occurrence. So, beginning of the year, I mapped out all the state fairs, found out the dates that all the state fairs were happening, so I kind of figure out which ones I can do this year, which ones may have to put off, kind of maximize how many state fairs can I hit in the year 2024. So I wrote down all the dates, checked all their official websites, made a chart, and then used that chart later to plot out this first section of the state fair season, where I would drive out to California, drive up to North Dakota, and then fortunately I would have to actually backtrack to get to the Montana State Fair because the fairs only overlap by like 2 days, and it just was not possible to be able to drive and to be at both fairs in the correct order. So I would have to go to North Dakota first and then backtrack to the Montana State Fair. I'm like, man, this is a lot of driving. This is a lot of putting a lot into this to make sure this all comes together. But I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have to make another trip out to Montana just to go to the state fair. I want to maximize my trip here. Beautiful country, but there's only so many things. Only so many roadside attractions. A lot of big empty spaces to drive through. Yesterday I drove 8 hours and I did not see a McDonald's. It is just that rural out here in North Dakota and Montana. So, carefully plotted out the path I would take, which city I would be in, what day, what city I'd be in the next day. So, I Google mapped, looked on Google Maps. Usually with the state fair, you just type in state fair of such and such, and it'll pop right up on Google Maps, show you where the state fair takes place. I typed in Montana State Fair, and I'd already done my research on the dates and all that. So I typed into Google Maps, Montana State Fair. And it took me here to Billings, Montana. I'm like, all right, got the dates, got the location. We're gonna be in Billings. We're gonna backtrack out of North Dakota, head back into Montana, and we'll be here in Billings today for the Montana State Fair. However, the Montana State Fair does not take place in Billings, Montana. What does take place in Billings, Montana is the Montana Fair. Not the Montana State Fair, but the Montana Fair. They are two different things. Montana Fair is not the Montana State Fair. The Montana State Fair is not the Montana Fair. The Montana Fair takes place here in Billings, and it doesn't start until, I would be happily go to the Montana Fair. It does not occur until August 14th. It does not start. So we got to wait a few weeks before the fair actually would be here at this fairground. So I mistakenly went to the wrong city in Montana for the state fair. The state fair is occurring right now, but not here in Billings, home of the Montana Fair. And I take full responsibility for this. I shouldn't have been using Google Maps to locate the state fairs. I should have went to the website, found the name of the fairgrounds, and went from there. Double check. That's one thing with traveling. You always got to double check. If I'm trying to find the hours of a place, I always try to find it in 2 locations. I try to double check to make sure, because information on the internet can sometimes be inaccurate or outdated. So I should have made a finer point of making sure that the Montana State Fair was occurring where it was occurring. So, like I said, Montana State Fair is happening. It is happening right now. As we speak, there are people at the Montana State Fair eating corn dogs, going on wild spinning rides. But it's not here in Billings. It is in Great Falls, Montana, where we just were days ago. We were in Great Falls. We visited the Sip and Dip Lounge, had some drinks, had some great food while watching a mermaid swim behind the bar. That is where the State Fair takes place. Now, we're not that far from Great Falls. You know, as far as a day trip for me, as far as traveling for me, we are 3.5 hours from Great Falls. So I'm like, okay, I can fix this. We will go to Great Falls, and we will go to the Montana State Fair. We're just put us a day behind, which I do have a time crunch here. I am trying to get to Northern Indiana for a family reunion, but I'm like, I think I can make it work still. The one hiccup, the one thing that that gave me pause was I had already booked hotels for the next 2 nights. I'd already mapped out my plan of leaving the Montana State Fair, heading back east. For the next 2 days, I had hotels booked. So you would say, okay, we'll cancel those, reschedule those. Not that easy. Not that easy. Both of the hotels were non-refundable or had already gone into the the time crunch where they can no longer be canceled without paying the full price. And one of them was through Priceline, which I use Priceline all the time to book hotel rooms. It's a good place to find really heavily discounted hotel rooms, which I try. One of my things I try to do, I try to get a hotel room for under $100 every night, and I try to not stay someplace that's dangerous or filthy. So Priceline helps me out a bit with that. However, Priceline will always get you in the end. That's why I don't encourage people to use Priceline. I use Priceline a lot, so I've kind of figured out the system and how not to get gamed, because once you hit that pay button, you are locked in. They are not going to give you your hotel back. You're absolutely 100% locked in, unless, maybe if you called and there was a death or something, there may be 1 or 2 times where I was able to get them to reverse that. But as a rule, they don't even want to talk to you. They booked this room, they sold you for a discount. Part of the risk of buying it at that discount is that you most likely, almost certainly, will not be able to cancel it or reschedule it, because it's not even the hotel that books them. It's Priceline is a third company, so you got 2 people to deal with, and they're not going to let you out of it unless you really compel them to. And yeah, it just wasn't. I called, I couldn't even get on the phone with a person. So had another hotel that was past the cancellation period as well. So I had a decision to make, and that is either A, we skip the Montana State Fair and we go on as planned to film something else today, go on with the other plan 2 hotel stops, and just forget the Montana State Fair. Which is probably financially, that probably would have been the correct decision to make. However, that would involve skipping the Montana State Fair, one of the 3 reasons I made this road trip to begin with. The whole point of this road trip was to visit state fairs, the beginning of the state fair season. So it would crush me. It would crush me to not be able to do the Montana State Fair. I have my mind, I have this drive for completion, the drive to complete this mission for the state fairs. I can't just leave out Montana. Of course, you know, people say, just come back, do it some other time, do it next year. But that would just involve, that might be even less financially irresponsible, because I would have to drive all the way out to Montana for the fair, schedule a whole new trip during the middle of the summer, during my busiest season, where all the amusement parks, all theme parks are open, and make a point, set aside several days to come back out and do the Montana State Fair. So I think pretty much from the beginning, I was always going to go to the Montana State Fair. I was always going to make the less financially smart decision. But last night, when this information became apparent to me, I laid down, I checked in my hotel room. I was so happy. I laid on my bed, pulled on my phone. I'm like, let's just see what the schedule is. Let's see what time the pigs race tomorrow. And as I was scrolling down the website, I hit the bottom, and the address was in Great Falls. And I went into a sheer panic. And I verified, no, the state fair is not in Billings. I went and got a hotel room in Billings on a Friday night, and the state fair is not even here. I have no reason to be in Billings, other than it's a delightful place, but I have no reason currently to be in Billings. So, in my panic, I did a live stream last night. I logged on to my live stream. I was just freaking out, just asking for feedback, because I was just all this swirling in my head. Guys, what do I do here? What do I do here? And at first, people said, you know, do the financially smart thing. A lot of people said, do the financially smart thing. Skip the fair. I'm like, man, I can't skip the fair though. You don't understand. You don't understand how my brain works. I can't skip the fair. And people would come back next year. I'm like, man, next year I had to make a special trip for the Montana State Fair. It would be on the road for a week or two, and be out in the rural area again, where there's not necessarily a lot of other things I could be filming. It would be during the summer, where I try to film stuff that's open during the summer, like theme parks and amusement parks. So that didn't seem like a good idea either. But I think in the end, I think people understood. People got me, and like, do the fair. It's what you want to do. And then you guys like came through like tenfold for me. I got some super chats, very generous super chats. People threw in a few dollars. A few people threw in fistfuls of dollars. And yeah, the money I would have lost was covered. And since I began this channel, I could always count on my viewers. When I left my job, I wasn't making enough money to do this full time. I was just hoping that if I could put my full time into it, that I could make a little more money. And overnight, my Patreon doubled when I told my story, told what happened, and within a few weeks, I was at the point where I knew that I would be able to do this for now as a full-time job. And last night, in the end, I think I would have gone. I would have gone to the state fair. I would have eaten the 2 hotel reservations, made new hotel reservations, and went and done it. My brain would not have allowed me. But you guys really came through and made that a positive decision, that I knew that you guys were 100% behind me. I think I have one of the best audiences here on YouTube. There's so much toxic stuff on YouTube, so much gross negativity on YouTube. But when I go to my comment section, when I talk with you guys, when I go into live streams, you guys are positive, you guys are fun, and you guys are kindred spirits. I definitely feel a lot of kindred spirits out there watching these videos. So, as dumb as I am for coming to the Montana fair when it's not happening, when I'm supposed to be 3.5 hours away at the Montana State Fair. It's actually kind of funny. It's actually kind of funny when I think about it. It's kind of dumb, but kind of funny that I somehow manage to show up at the wrong fairgrounds for the wrong Montana Fair. Well, the fair that I'm trying to go to is happening, but I went to the fairgrounds where the other fair happens. Don't use Google Maps to figure out where events are. I think that is a lesson that I can happily bestow upon you. So we've got new plans cooking up. We're doing the Montana State Fair. We're going tonight. Tonight I'm gonna head back to Great Falls, and tomorrow, if everything goes according to plan, because there's no guarantees. This is proof that there's no guarantees. We are going to attend the Montana State Fair, and then we are going to immediately turn back around and start heading back this way. I'll probably end up staying in Billings tomorrow night. So we're going to drive the 3 hours there tonight, do the fair in the morning, and probably land back here tomorrow, and we'll go on east from there. So it is time to get back on that long, lonesome road. Did need to do a little bit of car maintenance though before we hit the road. I've been having problems with my windshield wipers. This bottom part right here does not seem to be scraping all the way. It was leaving streaks of water. I don't know if it's just worn out from all the bug guts, but figure we need to try to replace it before we get back on the road. So we stopped off here at O'Reilly Auto Parts. See if we can find what we need. Asked the gentleman what I needed. He just said I needed size 18. I got this rain axe. This was about $40. So let's see if we can get this on the car somehow. Never done this before. All right, box my new wiper here. Should take this green strip off here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. This is way too small. Way too small. Okay, took it back inside, exchanged it, got the larger one here. Apparently the passenger side is smaller than the driver's side. I needed the driver's side so I can see out the windshield on the driver's side. It was the same price, by the way. It was $40. Exchange it for the larger. Well, it's I guess $80 if I wanted to do both. I was just doing this one now. I haven't been having any trouble with the passenger side. Okay, that looks right. You take the yellow off, and then maybe there's some sort of instructions on how to get this off. Hang on. Finish watching this video here. All right, lift the latch. Then what? Straight down. There we go, got it off. It's a hook, a little hook there. Oh, it just clips right on there. Then get that down, and there we go. There we go. Shout out to, let me give a shout out to this video that taught me. It's Phil Crockett's Equinox wiper replacement. Led me through how to get that off. Okay, let's test it out. There's this giant bug. I don't know what kind of bug it is. That's like one of the bugs from Starship Troopers right there. So let's see if we can. Okay, it's not getting that off, but it does appear to be working normally. There we go. I did it. So proud of myself. Again, I know nothing about cars, so anytime I learn a little thing, just a little thing to do myself, I'm pretty proud. A few doors down here, we have Al's Bootery. A bootery being a place that you buy boots, apparently. But the rumor is that they have one of Robert Wadlow's shoes here at the Bootery. I do like this cowpoke here. And lots of boots in here. And they do indeed have one of Robert Wadlow's shoes. He was 8 foot 11 inches tall, wore a size 32 here. And just for comparison's sake, we'll take a standard boot there, and you can see one of the biggest feet to have ever existed. We are here in the parking lot of the Billings International Airport, and no, we are not flying to Great Falls, but over here in the parking lot of the airport is the Yellowstone Museum. So I thought that we would invoke the EM rule before we left town, so our trip to Billings is not a total waste of time. And I do hear they have a two-headed calf in there, and of course Wadlow shoes and two-headed calves are sure stops for me. All right, we enter through this cabin here. They said the majority of the exhibits are in the lower level of the cabin. Oh, big moose head there as we head down. See that trail wagon there. And look at this, a big pile of brands. You know, the branding, a big deal out in the in cattle country here. So back when the cattle used to roam freely before they had barbed wire enclosures, they would put brands on them so that they could know who each cattle belonged to. And you see the designs up here, the brands on the ceiling there. Yeah, a lot. You'll see these used as decoration a lot here in North Dakota and Montana, that they'll decorate it with the brands. Some prehistory here. Have some items from the indigenous people. That's atlatl. It is a Native American throwing dart. It's very interesting, kind of a oddly cumbersome weapon. And also we got the skulls down here, bison bones. It's a bighorn sheep skull there. Lots of information here on the indigenous people of the area. Here's an Absoluque parade horse adorned with different items that have on the parade. It's got a cougar pelt there. Oh, like these little almost look like little flattened spoons, I guess, to make like a jangling noise as the horse parades. Oh wow, this is fascinating here. I have not heard of this event before. This is Sacrifice Cliff here, and it was said in 1837 there was a smallpox epidemic. A group of indigenous people prayed to the Great Spirit to relieve their people of the disease, of the curse, of the pandemic, and so the warriors here decided to make a sacrifice of themselves and their horses. So they performed a ritual, then blindfolded their horses, and basically ran them off the edge of a cliff while they were still on their backs. You can see the mass chaos here as the horses come plummeting down off of the cliff there. Wow, that is something. We have now entered the guns section there. Lots of guns, lots of ammunition. Oh, this coyote here. I think maybe he's howling, or maybe he is crying out in pain because the gun just blasted him there. There's a cabin over here. Oh, whoa. A wolf rug. It's dark in here. Okay, yeah, just a dimly lit cabin. I guess sets the mood. It looks like over here there was some gambling. Oh, and there's a no gambling sign there. I guess they don't want you to lose all your money. Back here behind the cabin, they got their chuck wagon, and their this is the Reliable Dayton motor car, and it looks like we got a statue of a singing cowboy over here. Okay, this is musician Lonnie Bell. If you look here behind Lonnie, you can see we're actually up high here. The airport's almost like on top of like a plateau above the city, so you can look down and actually see the whole city of Billings, Montana down there. Over in the corner here, there is Charlie and Russell, the two-headed calves. This was born in 1949 in Alberta, Canada, and then spent many years in a cowboy bar in Fishtail, Montana. Came here to this museum in the 1970s, and that is a very, very nice looking two-headed calf. Very well distributed. He's got 4 legs in the front, 2 legs in the back. Yeah, pretty adorable. Charlie and Russell there. And look at this. They actually sell stuffed versions of Charlie and Russell. Two-headed calf there. Little plushy two-headed calves. That's really cute. Okay, now it is time to get back on the long, lonesome road for real this time. I'm going to head out of Billings and head back to Great Falls. Here in the small town of Rygate, Montana. And Rygate is known primarily for one thing: the Rygate Testicle Festival, where they celebrate the delicacy that is the Rocky Mountain oyster. You can see the rancher there licking his lips, getting ready to harvest some Rocky Mountain oysters. Now, they have the festival is in June, so sadly we missed it, and there will be no Rocky Mountain oysters today. Okay, and I've been looking for one of these. We got the Town Pump Express car wash here. Looks like a pretty intense car wash. So hopefully this can help get some of the insects off my car. Yeah, as you can see on the grill of my car, I have like a museum's worth of insects splattered there. I see a bee. There's a bee there. Just an unending amount of guts. Imagine if you took all the DNA on here. I can't even imagine how many different insects would be splattered here on the car. So got to hopefully get that fixed. And then there's one big glob right there. I couldn't get that off with the new windshield wipers, so hopefully we can get rid of that. you can see all the bug guts on my window as I pull up here. All right, and here we go, entering the tunnel. We are in neutral, getting this is the red hot fire lava. I don't know what sort of, oh, there we go. Getting the full coat there. Oh, got some glowing red lava effects here. Scrub brush coming there. Nice relaxing car wash after a long drive. Spongy octopus tentacles. Oh, a lot of scrubbing here. I like the bright red scrubbers. I got the works. It was $22 for like it was the ultimate. They call it the ultimate wash. Oh, that's pretty. They call it the ultimate wash. It cost $22. So hopefully this will take care of the bugs. I think I got that big glob. No, I still see the big glob there. Nothing's gonna get that off, I guess. No, we're not done though. We're not done. This is the hot wax and shine here. So we got some different cycles to go through here. We had lava, now we get ice. I don't know what any of this stuff actually does. I do kind of like the smell of the car wash. It's kind of nice. I don't like most smells, but something about the car wash smells kind of nice. Oh yeah, here's the jets. Getting the blow dry there. Yeah, it got just about everything except that one big glob right there. We made it a little smaller. I'm gonna have to scrub that off myself. Oh no, it's like we're gonna take off here. Are we ready to hit drive? Oh, it's gonna spit us all the way out. There we go. It just pushed me out. It didn't tell me to hit drive, it just pushed me out. So let's go see if we got it clean. Okay, the car itself looks nice and shiny. There's still a lot of dead bugs. I think with the dead bugs, a car wash just isn't going to get them off. It's definitely an improvement, but yeah, it takes like some actual hand scrubbing of some sort. But let me see if I can get the one glob there. See if I can get that off. Come on, glob. Come on, glob, get off. What kind of bug was this? Was this a bug? I hope it wasn't like a bird or a bat or something. And it appears that we have come full circle. We are back here in Great Falls, Montana. I didn't know I would be back so soon, but the important thing is we made it here. Tomorrow is the Montana State Fair. It'll be State Fair number 26 in this journey to visit all the state fairs. So almost, almost missed it. Almost failed to attend the fair, but we worked it out. We figured it out, and unless there's some other catastrophe, we will attend the Montana State Fair tomorrow. I want to thank you guys for following along with me. Thank you guys for being so supportive. If you do like these videos, consider subscribing. I travel around the country, film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, state fairs, and other fun, random stuff. Got some new merchandise coming very soon to the Etsy shop. It's doing cameos if you're interested in that. Of course, Patreon, $3 or more, get you a postcard once a month. All those things help keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends. This one's in the bag.